Some weeks out here, it feels like not much new happens. The to do list doesn't shrink, and it doesn't even seem to change, even though I don't think we ever stop working on it. Wilson gets it. At the top of his to do list is to catch the mole that he saw go down this hole 2 days ago. I think he has a weak grasp of mole engineering and urban planning because he seems pretty convinced that any minute now, Mr. Mole is going to come right back out of this hole that he went into like 2 days ago. I've decided I'm going to make a go at repainting the living room. The magic of video makes this room look a lot brighter than it actually is. The reality is it's an almost brownish tint of yellow, and it's really, really dreary and dark in here. With the rainy days of winter ahead, I just can't stand the thought of looking at these gloomy walls for another 6 months. Sure, I could have started with any of the smaller and still questionable painting choices that are scattered throughout the house. But why start simple when you can turn the whole house on its side and inconvenience everyone else around you? I don't have a lot of white paint left, but it's enough to get a sense of how it will look, and then I can always zip to the home store and grab more. Okay, I'm really glad I did this test because I love how the white looks against the stone, and now I feel really motivated to continue on, though it is a bit daunting. I guess I need to buy a ladder too. So, off to buy more paint. Okay, ready to continue on. I'm not totally sure about the paint I got. It didn't cost very much, and I figure white is white, so why not try it out? So here I am once again, learning all over again what I already knew. And for someone my age, I think this business of repeating the same mistakes over and over really needs to stop at some point. Today's lesson in relearning is that basically you get what you pay for. And if you buy cheap white paint, there's a good chance that you're going to get cheap white paint. So this stuff is patchy, looks terrible, but worst of all, it smells disgusting. It smells like, I don't know, kerosene, something nasty, something that you wouldn't want near open flame. So I'm going to call it a day as far as painting goes and head outside to rake because at least it smells okay out there. And with that, I think here ends the walnut foraging season of 2025. I'm pretty sure this last one I got will be my last walnut of the season. It was buried deep. The trees are bare, there's nothing else falling, and fall has really settled in here. It's cool and windy, and I feel like this is the end of harvesting for us. But we got a pretty decent crop this year, and all we need to do now is let them season for a while. The longer, the better. But I think we can expect some good walnuts at Christmas time. The apple trees have finally given their last, which means I've finally made my last batch of apple jam and filled my last few jars of what seems like hundreds of apple chips. I can't exactly envision just what kind of global catastrophe would require that I have a massive supply of apple chips on hand, but whatever it is, I'm ready for it. Between some drizzly weather and my broken finger, I've been driven inside looking for other projects. And because of the smelly paint in the living room, I've escaped to my studio and pulled out some of my paints for the first time since I arrived in France, along with a canvas that I started in Canada and shipped here, ever optimistic that I might finish it someday. And also, I forgot all about it. It feels really good to have finished something this week, and it's fitting that the first piece of art I actually managed to complete in France is a colorful shout out to my home and native land. Meanwhile, I think Wilson is maybe less of a hunter and more of a philosopher now. As of tonight, the mole is still out there living his best life, but Wilson seems satisfied with his week's work, victorious in spirit, if not in battle. Maybe a life lesson for all of us in there somewhere. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you next week.